A convicted cop killer will soon be a free man.
Herman Bell granted parole after serving nearly 45 years behind bars for the murders of not one but two NYPD officers, this back in 1971.
Now one of those officers' widows is speaking out in a powerful op-ed. Rob Schmidt joins us live with more. Rob?
Yeah, details on this. Tough to digest, guys. Good morning to you. 70-year-old Herman Bell was one of three members of the Black Revolutionary Army in 1971. When he and two others made a phony 911 call to lure NYPD officers to a housing project in Harlem. Officers Joseph Piagentini and Waverly Jones responded to that call. They were ambushed. Jones was shot in the head and killed instantly, but Herman Bell and his two accomplices took their time on Officer Piagentini here on the left, shooting him 22 times with his own revolver as he laid on the ground begging for his life, telling his killers that he had a wife and two little girls at home. Didn't matter. Herman Bell was finally caught 2 years later in California, where he killed another police officer in San Francisco. He was sentenced to 25 years to life. Bell denied the NYPD murders for more than 40 years before finally admitting to the parole board a few years ago that he wasn't, in fact, set up. Diane Piagentini, a widow now for nearly 50 years, wrote an op-ed in the New York Post this week. She and her daughters have been to every single parole hearing for Herman Bell. And Diane is understandably outraged that the man who killed her husband and two other police officers is getting out of prison. She writes in part, Bell should have gotten the death penalty back then. Why are they letting him out? How can they let this man out on parole when he has denied what he did to my husband for 40 years? I cannot fathom it. He made a life in prison. He has a wife, he has children, and now he's allowed to get out on the street. The NYPD commissioner released a statement of his own, saying in part the New York State Parole Board's decision earlier today to release admitted cop killer Herman Bell from prison is indefensible. Herman Bell is due to be released from prison next month. 3 police officers killed.
He did not wind up with life in prison.
At the time, you couldn't get life in prison. I think 25 years to life is what he got for that reason. And there wasn't a death penalty.
There wasn't a death penalty.
There wasn't a death penalty.
71, you're right.
And there still isn't here in New York, but he couldn't get life, and they're going to let him out. He's 70 years old now. He's got a wife. He's got kids. The 3 officers that he killed, no parole for them. That's part of what the NYPD commissioner said. Where's their parole?
Wow. Okay. All right, Rob. Thanks.
Yeah.
All right.